This is Cheryl Manley from Sharing Love of Paper. I'm so glad you could join me today. These are the last pages for the album I've been working on. Today I'm not starting with a kit, I'm starting with a sketch. This is a sketch from one of the Creative Design Team sketchbooks that I've purchased. If you like to work from sketches, I really recommend them. I have the first 3 of their 12 by 12 sketchbooks, since that's the size I like to work with. Here is the sketch I decided to use, but I'm changing it a lot. What I'm keeping is the background layout. I'm not sure what I'll do with title and embellishments yet. I have 2 big pieces of picture that will go here. They're actually 2 halves of a large picture, and I'm going to have 4 4x6 flip-flaps, 2 on either side of that. I actually wrote out an idea of what I'm planning to do here. We went to a theme park, and this is a map of the park. There will be some legends here. I'll have my flip-flaps here, and there will be some journaling in one of the flip-flaps. That's as far as I've gotten. Between that and this, that's what I'm headed for. Even though I'm not using a kit, since Stampin' Up's products are based on standard colors, it's pretty easy to mix and match and find papers to use. These 2 papers that I'm using are from an older set called Serene Love. It's been discontinued, but I still had some in my stash. This one is from the newer paper set called Nature Walk. I thought those would go together nicely. This is for this page, and this is for this page, and I can start putting this together. I didn't cut a full width of the paper because the pictures I'll use in the center cover all the space. These pictures are a little bit shorter, but that's fine. The patterned paper will be covered when I bring in my other patterned paper pieces. Let's see. This is this one. This one goes there. Then this is this one. And somewhere I have another set. There it is. This will go like this. That's the plan, something like that. I'll go glue these pieces in place off camera and be back to look at bringing in the other photos and the title. Okay, I've glued this in place, and now I need to figure out where I'll be putting all my pieces. Oh, I like moving these up here. I'll have to mat them some way to completely hide those words, but that will allow more of the decorative paper to show. These will all be flip-flaps because I've got so many pictures. I think this will be at the top of this set and will go here at the bottom. And this set can go up here. If I put them something like that? I don't know. Let's bring in the rest of them and see what we've got. We have this for a title. I could cut it in half and put it in the center there if I wanted. I kind of like doing it that way because of the way the rest of this is all laid out. Here are the rest of the legends. And then here are the rest of the pictures. I had briefly wondered about putting the journaling on top here, but that made too much white, so it will be inside. These are all going to be flip-flaps. Then I think maybe I'll find some old olive or mossy meadow cardstock to mat these legend pieces, and probably the title too. I'm really not sure what to do for embellishing on this one. To me, it kind of feels complete as it is once I get the matting done. I'll go off camera, find matting for these pieces, then get everything glued down and see what everything looks like. Then I'll show you a matting trick with cutting dies. I've got some mats now to mat my pieces, but I want to show you a trick. I was using dies to cut these mats, dies from the Textured Notes set that has rectangles with decorative edges. They are so versatile for both scrapbooking and card making. This is the size that the die cuts. That worked well for the title, but it wasn't wide enough for these legends. It was about 3/4 inch narrower than needed. So I used a trick for using a die to cut a larger piece than the die was designed for. I've shown this before, but I want to make sure you didn't miss it. It's really not hard once you get used to doing it. All you do is put your cutting die on your piece of cardstock and get ready to run it through your machine with the normal sandwich. But you make sure the top plate stops before the end piece. Oh yes, you do want to tape this down with removable tape. You want to start by only cutting these 3 sides, not the 4th one that would make the piece too short. The die will only cut where the top plate is, so this will cut only those 3 sides. Run through the machine with the top side first. When it comes out the other side, untape the die, move it to the approximate size you want, gently moving it back and forth until you feel it settle into the area that's already been cut. Then tape it in place. Once again, you only want to cut 3 sides. This side, not the side you already cut. I've got a magnet here holding my page down and it keeps wanting to grab my die. Anyway, again, you'll put the plate so it doesn't cover that 4th side and run it through the machine again. Now you have a longer rectangle, but it has that texture all around the edge. Great trick. Okay, I'll just trim this a little bit so I have a gap between them like I do here. Then I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, glue all these pieces, and be back. So this is the layout as I've got it. And honestly, I don't think I want to add any embellishments. There's a lot on the page already and plenty to pull the eye around the page and into the page with the map. The mats create a focal triangle, as do these dark pieces here. I think this is just great the way it is. So this will open like that. It's a flip-flap. And this one is a flip-flap. It will open like that. This one is a flip-flap and opens like that so you can see the journaling. And this one is a flip-flap and opens like that. So 4 flip-flaps with lots of pictures to see. We've got our legend here that tells us what all these places are. You might be wondering why I covered up the information about how to contact the park. That's because, unfortunately, a few months after we visited, the park closed down permanently, so it's no longer there. I was very glad we got to visit while it was still there. So that's the final layout, and now this scrapbook is complete. Yay! Here are the close-ups. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, should you choose to purchase any Stampin' Up! Products, I hope you will choose me, Cheryl Manley, as your demonstrator. It won't cost you any extra, and I'll get a small commission to help pay for my time as I make these videos. I hope you'll click that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. Thanks, and have a great day.